Nice to see a team chasing.
Yeah. And winning, yes.
And winning, yeah. Unfortunately, it's not the Giants. They've lost 2 out of 2. And it looks, I think it's going to get worse for them now because it looks like Beth Mooney's going to be out.
That is a huge blow because Beth Mooney is their captain yesterday. She was the keeper as well. So there is a lot of pressure on her. And when you look at the rest of the team, you don't know who is capable of filling in those big shoes. Sneha Rana was captain today. In fact, yesterday at the press conference, she looked very down after the match. The result was such that anybody would look down. But she kept repeating that we're going to hold our heads high, we're going to come back better tomorrow. Definitely Gujarat Giants were better today than yesterday.
You can't possibly get worse from yesterday.
Yeah. But rough, but of course they will have the bright side of Kim Gard's performance.
Yeah, that's
second
2 5-wicket hauls.
Yeah,
2 5-wicket hauls.
In one day, yeah.
So that is, I think that is a big takeaway for them, that it's working. Also, I think a newer franchise, maybe there were a couple of issues. They don't have a captain who stands out. They don't have an India marquee player as such, apart from Sneha Rana. So, a couple of things I think that needs to be worked on, but right now they have to do with the best with what they have.
I mean, they could have just changed it. Had they just got the result today, then suddenly you're like, okay, it's not all doom and gloom. But after yesterday's heavy loss, to lose this one as well, looks like the Titans are going to find it, or the Giants are going to find it really hard.
Yeah, and apart from the backup captaincy issue, both their coaches, Rachel Haynes and Mithali Raj, they're in their first assignments, I think, as coaches. So it's not like they have a wealth of experience from coaching, which is a different ball game from playing itself, because you have to take so many decisions off field, and you are a spectator once the match starts.
I think early days, but we're also seeing some teams have clearly got more things right at an auction. Delhi are one of those teams. We saw them in action for the first time. And we're wondering why were they so quiet in the first bits of the auction where they didn't go for Smriti or Harman, and we're just trying to figure out what exactly are Delhi going to do. Well, we saw that in Meg Lanning and Shefali. They've got the opening pair of the early parts of the tournament so far. How good was that? Yeah, Lanning and Shefali. That's the best Shefali's batted in a while. I've seen her the under-19s and she kept getting those starts.
That is something she admitted today after the match. She said, I asked her about her celebration after the 50. A nice little moment, she acknowledged the crowd. She raised her bat and she was candid as ever, saying कि बहुत time के बाद 50 मारा है, तो मेरे लिए बहुत special है. She really wanted the 100 too. She mentioned how her dismissal was disappointing. But my favorite thing was we asked her about how batting with Meg Lanning as Australian captain, superstar, legend. And she's like, yeah, it was great, we're backing. And then every time she told me, good job, I thought I should also do that. And we have the 19-year-old Shefali telling Meg Lanning, good job every time Meg Lanning was hitting a
That was the secret to Meg Lanning's success today. That she had Shefali Verma at the other end, guiding her along.
And that is the beauty of WPL.
Yeah, and also I guess it'll also make Indian players not fear 200 scores like we saw in this chase today. I think it'll change a lot in the long run. Still early days. But yeah, I think we could do with slightly bigger boundaries, just from the evidence of the first few games. You were at the grounds. You think so?
Yeah. Well, the boundary issue in women's cricket is an old one. I think, especially with the context of WPL, big scores, high-scoring matches, successful chases too are important, and maybe that is the reason for the boundaries as they are. We saw 200s in the first 2 games, so 200 scores, which is huge. It is big for women's cricket. Yeah. So I'm yet to decide whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, because we did have a successful chase now. Maybe a few more matches and we can be sure of whether that is the right way to go.
Well, boundaries are always shorter, like you were saying, in women's cricket. I was reading a news report in the Indian Express this morning that in this tournament the boundaries have a maximum limit of 60 meters. And I think in the T20 World Cup it was 70 meters. So a gap of 10 meters is a lot. And pitches are going to be flat. They are flat.
Yeah,
anyway,
I don't mind batting friendly conditions for women's cricket.
In the first season of WPL, it's completely understandable if the home board is
they could have gone 5
is pitching for that. But so more and more 200 plus, and hopefully tense finishes with this kind of a chase we saw just now between Gujarat and UP, and not one-sided games.
Yeah, and we're all thrilled for Tara Norris and Peter De La Pena both.
Absolutely. So Tara Norris is the only associate player. She plays for USA. And she had a 5 today.
And she used for the first time that rule that the WPL allows, which is you can field a 5th overseas player as long as they play for an associate country.
Which is another masterstroke by Delhi, as we were talking about.
It's the only team to go down.
I was really surprised that they are the only team who have one associate player, and there were so many of them in the auction pool.
So I guess teams will learn from this. So You never know. Anyway, good fun though. Lots of events.
Absolutely. Both matches today, first double-header day, were really entertaining. Even RCB fans will disagree with me for sure. But I
of
think
which there were many at the Brabourne Stadium.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, Mumbai Indians yesterday and RCB today proved one thing, that your established fan bases of the IPL means that there is an established fan base for the Women's Premier League. So much support for Mumbai Indians yesterday. There were people in older jerseys, you know, from like 2013 for Harmanpreet. Today, the constant cries of RCB, Smriti and Elise Perry being the standout, it tells you that the fans are already there. There are people in the stadium, even though it's not full yet. And you know, it's a wonderful platform to build on.